Lots of people have been asking me about whether I would share more showbiz memories, and I love sharing them with you, obviously, because it's just good fun to recall, well, some people might say happier times, nostalgic times, that sort of thing. And when we did the recent video about Bill Haley and his comments, obviously it's before my time, but it just proves, doesn't it, that nothing's new. Fans are fans, they love you for a short period and then they move on. Then hopefully at some point they come back to remember you, if you're lucky. I know I'll be waiting in my rocking chair. But on a serious note, somebody asked me in the comments, Neil, did you ever meet the actress Dorothy Lamour? And I thought, did I meet her? And then I realised I did, albeit very briefly. But what was interesting was with Dorothy Lamour, when you look into her history, by the time she came over to London in April 1950 to appear for a week at the London Palladium, the celebrated Ace Variety Theatre of the world, she was just pre-Judy Garland and following on from the huge success of another wonderful star, Danny Kaye. Now, you see, the boss of the London Palladium, Val Parnell, decided in order to fill the theatre, which was declining at that point, to bring some great Hollywood legends. And he brought them all. Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Mickey Rooney, you name it. Never quite managed Frank Sinatra in his time. But Dorothy, as you know, was famous for being very glamorous, wearing a sarong, and appearing in all those road movies with Bing Crosby, Bob Hope. The road movies, they're still funny, aren't they, even today? Of course, they're all filmed on the Paramount backlot, so nobody ever really went to Bali, did they? Did we care? Just fun, wasn't it? Now, when I met Dorothy Lamour, she was basically appearing at a gala at the London Palladium, and I was lucky enough at that point to know Lorna Luft, the daughter of Judy Garland, very well. And I didn't realise, talking to this particularly glamorous lady, that she was in fact also Jane Russell. You know Jane Russell? Absolutely, from the French line, and gentlemen prefer blondes opposite Marilyn Monroe. Now, as I say, they were appearing at this gala night, but what was interesting that I didn't realise having a chat was, now, when they made their very final road movie, The Road to Hong Kong, which was made over here in London in 1962, I had no idea that there was a bit of a co-star battle. Yes, let me explain. You see, the bottom line was that Bing Crosby decided he didn't want Dorothy Lamour in the movie because she was too old to play his love interest. Now, let's be blunt, Bing Crosby, fabulous entertainer, but it just proves, doesn't it, how nothing changes. So they drafted in the much younger Joan Collins. Joan told me she didn't get on particularly well with Bing Crosby because during the kissing scenes all he stunk of was cigar smoke. You can see how well this got on. Now, what happened was it was up to the third co-star, Bob Hope, the British-born comedian from Eltham, who basically pushed hard to have Dorothy appear in the final movie, making a very short cameo with a song and dance at the end. She was one of those stars that, when you think about it, didn't necessarily get the recognition she deserved. A beautiful lady with a great voice and really made a presence in movies. And it got me thinking, and I'd love to know your comments, in the comments below, should I say, your thoughts, because she really did a lot for the sarong, right? But apparently she didn't like wearing them. It wasn't her normal attire, as you can imagine. But it was sort of a thing, wasn't it, that everybody expected to see her in. A little bit like Carmen Miranda with a bucket of fruit on her head. She couldn't go out without all the fruit or else people didn't recognise her. And Dorothy said if she didn't go out without the sarong, people said, Dorothy who? I don't really believe that, do you? A beautiful lady who brought so much fun and happiness throughout all of those road movies. And I, yes me, was very lucky enough to meet her, albeit for a very brief second. Take three. And I, take four. And I, take five. And I, yes, me, was very lucky to meet in the flesh Dorothy Lamour. I did meet Jane Russell again at a later date on another chat show, but that is for another chat between you and I. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.